Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss what is characteristic equation and by observing characteristic equation, how can you assess the stability of the system? Yes. First of all, we'll revise what we have discussed in previous class. Yes, we'll discuss and we'll revise first briefly, some 10 minutes. We'll revise what we have discussed so far. So, we are discussing equations of motions. Equations of motion for aircraft, right? For aircraft. So, equations of motion for aircraft. For these things, we assumed aircraft is a rigid body. If you are taking aircraft as a rigid body, then definitely you have 6 degrees of freedom. 6 degrees of freedom. Aircraft have 6 degrees of freedom. So, in this 3 are translational, 3 are rotational, right? So, you are assuming aircraft have 6 degrees of freedom. Assuming aircraft is rigid body. That's why you are getting 6 degrees of freedom. Next, you are assuming Earth is flat. You are assuming flat Earth model, right? And next one is you are keeping inertial frame of reference. You are fixing inertial frame of reference on Earth, right? That means Earth is not moving. Right? So by taking these 3 assumptions, you derived aircraft equations of motion. Later we discussed Euler angles. Yes, Euler angles. Why these Euler angles are important? Why these Euler angles are very important? If you want to convert, if you want to transform this inertial frame of reference to body fixed frame, right? If you want to transform your coordinate system from one frame to other frame, your coordinate system, right? So these Euler angles are useful for transforming 3D coordinate system. 3D coordinate system. This is next. Already we discussed in first class. So perturbation theory, small perturbation. This is self-study topic. Just you have to go through it. And today we will discuss what is characteristic equation. I hope you have done this control systems course, control theory course, control systems. There you will get characteristic equation when you are studying time response analysis. What is that? When you are studying time response analysis. So I hope you are familiar with this topic, just time response analysis. Anyway, next week we are going to discuss longitudinal modes, and lateral directional modes. Just right? So for this, to solve this, definitely we need some basics. Today we will discuss that basics. Yes, once again we will discuss that basics. Already you studied this in your control system course. If you forgot because of this lockdown, don't worry, just once again we will discuss today's class. Yes, before going to that, what we have derived so far, just what are the equations, what are those equations? If you see those equations, just we are getting like this, right? M into U dot plus QW minus RV is equal to Fx. So by applying this Euler's angle transformation and stability axis system, if you consider stability axis systems, just finally you will get Fx. You will get like this, minus mg sin theta, and you will get Fy. That is nothing but gravity only, right? Mg, weight, that is nothing but gravity is equal to mg cos theta sin pi. Third one is Fg gravity, you will get mg cos theta cos pi. So what is theta? Which angle? Pi is roll angle, right? So finally you will get this equation just. Okay. Once if you substitute this equations in 6 degrees of freedom equation, like in 6 degrees of freedom equation already we derived, right? So if you substitute those, so let's see here. Anyway, already we derived, right, that thing. Just once again I will write. Okay, don't worry, just let's see, just for understanding purpose. Once again I will write those equations. M into minus RV W dot plus PV minus QU is equal to Z plus mg cos theta cos pi, right? Next, these are force equations, right? Next three equations are moment equations. So we will get Ixx P dot minus Ixz R dot plus Izz minus Iyy Qr minus Ixz PQ is equal to L prime. That is nothing but rolling moment, right? Next, Iyy Q dot plus Ixx minus Izz Rp plus is equal to M. This M refers total external moments, especially total pitching moment acting on aircraft. Izz R dot is equal to M. Yes, these are the equations. So already we derived this. Yes. So once again check it once. Once again revise these basics. Very very important. So you have this. Next you will apply small perturbation theory. Once you apply small perturbation theory, then you will do linearization. Once if you do linearization, finally you will get our required equation. That is called required equation. So generally what is your thinking, like for example in control systems probably we discussed about mechanical systems like spring mass damper. So if you remember spring mass damper, yes, for spring mass damper you are getting one characteristic equation, right? Yes, you will derive, like for example you will get so already you know for spring mass damper mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx is equal to 0. You will get this equation like this. So if you put that thing in equation form, spring mass damper in equation notation, like in equations, so we'll get mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx is equal to 0. So here if you see, if you convert this equation into transfer function, what you will get? If you convert that second order differential equation, into transfer function, why we are doing all these things? Why we have to find that transfer function? From transfer function you will get characteristic equation. If you observe that characteristic equation, you can say, is this system with these parameters, is this system with that parameters is stable or not? You can comment, right, based on that. So like that, if you take aircraft, we have 6 degrees of freedom, and these are the equations. Again, if you apply this linearization techniques, finally definitely you will get characteristic equations. So already remember, if you do this thing, you will get characteristic equation like this. I think mx square plus cs plus k is equal to 0. You will get second order characteristic equations, definitely. So you will get second order characteristic equation. So once if you know second order characteristic equation, then how will you comment on the stability of the system? Yes, how you will do that thing? That is my question. My simple question is, how you will comment stability of the particular system based on characteristic equation? Yes, very important for understanding dynamic stability. Why? Because we already discussed dynamic stability. If you want to know dynamic stability, you have to analyze the system dynamics, right? First you have to analyze the system dynamics. If you apply some small force, how that system will respond? Okay, how the system will respond with respect to time. This thing you know, right? This thing you have to know. So if you want to know this, you have to solve this equation. So if you solve that equation based on roots, how you will define that system stability? Yes, already we discussed in by roots of this characteristic equation. By roots of this characteristic equation, there is 6 possible responses. If you observe this characteristic equation, if you solve this characteristic equation, take some m value, some constant c, k, okay. If you solve this based on that roots of that characteristic equation, probably you will get 6 type of responses. What are those? 6 type of responses. 6 type of responses. Yes. If you see those 6 type of responses, if this is my disturbance, this is with respect to time. So, and one more, same disturbance, time, you will get disturbance. Next, if you take just, this is A, this is B, C. Next one is again y-axis refers to disturbance, x-axis is time. Next one is third one, C. Yes. So see, already we discussed, right? Based on this characteristic equation, we can comment the stability of the system. How it will respond. So what are the possible ways? Here we have 6 possible ways. 6 possible ways. Just look into these 6 diagrams. Like, you see, already starting of this aircraft stability and control class, we discussed these 6 responses, right? If you remember, technically we can call it as, this is as divergent. This A is nothing but divergence response. This is subsidence. This is neutral stability. Neutral stability. What about this is D, damped oscillations is that one, right? This is divergence oscillations. This one is, you can say, damped oscillations. This is neutral or undamped oscillations. You can say neutral or undamped oscillations. Yes, right? So if you take any system like it may be aircraft, spring mass damper, any electrical systems, so there is 6 possible ways of responses. If you disturb that system, there is 6 possible ways. How you will define these 6 possible ways of response? Based on characteristic equation. Yes, that is my question. So you can define based on roots of this characteristic equation. For example, if you take what is the possible ways of roots of this characteristic equation? Number 1, you will get real roots, that is real positive roots, right? Positive. Same negative, right? Negative roots, negative real roots. Third one is 0. You can write, right? Roots are 0. You can take like this also. Probably we'll get root as 0 also. So okay, if roots are complex, yes, there may be a chance, right? Maybe roots can be complex numbers also. Again, if roots are complex, again that real term will be, maybe a chance, real term will be positive and real term maybe a negative, and third one is real term will be 0, right? Yes, are you with me everyone? These are the 6 possible routes. If you solve this characteristic equation, there may be a chance, right? You will get any one of the routes. So how can you define this response based on, these routes? That is my question. Yes, everyone? Yes. How can you define this response of the system based on routes? Yes. So generally, if you see, those are second order differential equations. When you are solving second order differential equations, finally you will get the solution in the term of e power lambda t, right? Okay, you can take lambda as roots of the equation. So you will get in this notation e power lambda t, you will get roots in the form of, when you are solving second order differentials from mathematics, your mathematics knowledge, you can say when you are solving your second order differential equations, your solution will be probably C1 e power lambda 1x plus lambda 1t plus C2 e power lambda 2t. There may be a chance. Just you take just simply e power lambda t. Yes. Lambda refers roots of the characteristic equation. So roots of the characteristic equation. So what happened if this lambda, yes, lambda t, yes, tell me, if you are getting this lambda is positive, if lambda is real, I mean roots, if roots are real terms, then it will become exponentially, that solution will increase, right? That solution of the system, it will increase exponentially. So with respect to time, the disturbance, you can say disturbance will increase. Technically you can call it as, we are calling this as divergence response. We can call this as divergence response. What will happen if lambda is negative real terms? If it is positive, so we are getting this response. If lambda is negative, then it will be exponentially, yes, exponentially. If it is minus, so it will, you can say exponentially decay, you can say it is subsidence. Finally it will try to comes to original position. If time t, it becomes infinity. Okay, so there may be a possible chance, so to get to equilibrium condition, right? Then what about if lambda, I mean if roots are 0, e power 0, 1, so finally you will get some constant, so the response will be constant with respect to time, right? With respect to time. So that's why you can say this is neutrally stable. So if root is 0, real term is 0, I mean, if roots are real and that is 0. What will happen if you are getting roots as complex numbers minus a plus or minus ib into t? Yes, a plus or minus ib into t. If you are getting roots complex, so if you see e power ib cos theta plus I sin theta, you know, right? So if roots are complex, you can observe response in sinusoidal, right? Cos term and sin term is there. So cos term and sin terms, like if cos functions or sin functions are there, then response will be sinusoidal. So there may be a chance of these three things. So again, how you will define this one and this one, based on complex roots. So if roots are complex, definitely, if roots are complex, then you can say roots are complex, then response will be sinusoidal. Yes, sinusoidal. And again, sinusoidal, there are three possible chances. One is the real, that real term. One is real term and one is imaginary, right? So if it is real term is positive, real number, or real term is negative and real is 0. Three chances. So this is the case where we are getting divergence, right? We are getting divergence. So you can say here root is positive, that real term in that complex number is positive. What about here? The real term is negative. Here it is 0. Yes, right? You can say like this. So these are the possible ways. Yes, these are the possible ways. Yes. Any questions here? Any doubts? Yes. Once we will represent all these things in complex plane, so take this. So real, imaginary, right? Real axis, imaginary axis. If roots here positive numbers, so response will be subsidence, right? We're getting, oh sorry, here, okay, so small confusion here. So here if this root is here, so you can take response is divergence. Response will be diverging. So if this is negative real root, then response will be subsidence. There is no imaginary terms, like, yes, that is first case. Second case, if here root is 0, then response will be neutral. So you can say neutral stability. So just coming to complex numbers, complex conjugate, like this. So here real term is imaginary, then you can say if it is imaginary it will be oscillatory at the same way damped oscillations, right? Because real term is imaginary. So what about here? Same complex conjugate and real term is positive. So it will be, you can say this is undamped oscillations. So here, okay, are you getting? Then what about this? What about this? Sorry, here I have said undamped, right? No, divergence. Undamped oscillation means neutral, right? Then what about for this, where you will mark this on this plane? Yes, everyone? Where you will get here? So roots are complex conjugate and real term is 0. For example, only on imaginary. At this case, the response will be undamped oscillations. The response will be undamped oscillations. Yes, very, very important. For example, what about if you go in this side? What about that that settling time? You can say not settling time. So how much time it will take? For example, here this is -2. So one more root you have -4. So which system will subsidies first? Which system will have more power to subsidence? Which system will take very less time? Yes, definitely this fellow who have positive, who have this real root is more. So you can say, so here if you take, okay, definitely when we are discussing this longitudinal modes, when we are discussing longitudinal modes and lateral directional modes, definitely we will discuss. Once again we will come back to this. Okay, don't worry now. Now just these are like nothing but some brief introduction. So this is simply, you can say, brief introduction for longitudinal and lateral directional modes. So which we are starting from next week Tuesday, right? Next week Tuesday we are starting longitudinal and lateral directional modes. So especially if you remember, some students already you done some NPTEL courses. So already you are familiar with these terms: Pogoid mode, short period mode. Yes, Pogoid mode, short period mode, and spiral, Dutch roll. Yes, we'll discuss those things in next class. So now, so first you have to do from this what I am concluding. If you have any system, any dynamic system, by using your mathematics knowledge, just bring that system into mathematical model. That is nothing but equations of motion. Just bring that system into equations of motion and yes, apply Laplace transforms and find transfer function. From the transfer function you will get characteristic equation. From that characteristic equation, if you solve that characteristic equation, you will get roots. So in control terminology you can say poles of the system. So based on roots of that characteristic equation, you can comment on the stability of the system. By observing that roots of the system, you can comment the stability of the system. Here you can say if roots are negative, real negative terms, then you can say that system is dynamically stable. Dynamically stable. In the same manner, if roots are complex conjugates, that real term should be negative. In that term also you can say this both are called, you can say dynamically stable systems. You can say dynamically stable systems, right? Yes? Yes, everyone? Now, yes, from now onwards we'll think like our system is dynamically stable. Yes, we'll take it because almost you know, right? Where our system is aircraft, so we can take our system is dynamically stable. So up to here, any questions like anyone? Yes? We have, let's see, just so we can go for next topic like okay, then see. So these are second order system and you are getting characteristic equation in second order. So you are solving, right? You are getting roots. But for example, if you are getting characteristic equation in fourth order, what you will do? For example, equation is like this. You can take equation, okay, simply you can take like this, a lambda power 4 plus b lambda cube plus c lambda square plus d lambda into plus is equal to 0. So fourth order. So already in control systems you solved I think up to fifth order, sixth order also, right? But let's see here only fourth order. So if you want to comment the stability of the system, how you will solve this? First one is iterative method, iteration, by using iterations. So you will split this thing into second order. Later you will use iteration techniques and you will find it. But you don't want any roots. There is no need to find roots of this equation. You have to tell by observing this equation, is this system is stable or unstable? This thing you have to comment. So that's why we are using this technique. This technique name is called Raoult's criteria. Raoult stability criteria, right? Raoult stability criteria. Okay, see, already this thing we discussed. So here, for example, if your question is you are getting some more than 10 marks, your question if they asked in external examinations more than 10 marks, so just find the Raoult's array and use that technique. For example, if they are asked for small like some 5 marks or like that, so no need to find any Raoult's array. Simply by following notations, you can say is this system is stable or not. Simply first one, the condition is A should be greater than 0 and D and E. So fourth order term coefficient and first order coefficient and constant, these should be always greater than 0. That means those are positive real numbers, right? And second condition is route discriminant. What is that? Routes. Yes, same thing. You will derive these things from that routes are only. Yes. Anyway, just routes discriminant. This routes discriminant. That is, you are getting R. That is equal to BCD minus B square E minus AD square. It should be greater than 0. The following, everyone. Just if your A, first condition is your coefficients A and D and E. These three things should be positive real numbers. That is first condition. And second condition is this routes discriminant. But R should be, R is nothing but B C D minus B square E minus AD square. Right? This whole term, it should be positive number. If you are getting this routes discriminant is positive, then that system is stable. If routes discriminant that is greater than 0, then system is stable. Yes, that's it. No need to solve those equations, and no need to observe those like those roots. Nothing. Just simply you can say like this. So that I told you, right? That depends on mass distribution. So generally in aircraft stability and control, we will discuss only fourth order system. Yes. So for fourth order systems, you can solve like this. No need to go for again routes array. No need to draw that routes array technique, right? Yes. Final. These are the two conditions. Just explain these two conditions and solve that equation. You can comment this is stable or not. Yes. So this is the condition for stability. Yes. Tell me. Now this already we are discussing, right? Now we decided our system is dynamically stable. Our system is dynamically stable. For example, dynamically stable. So you are getting complex conjugate numbers as the roots. You are getting complex conjugate. For example, if this is fourth order system, you are getting roots like this. So 1, 2 minus A plus or minus IB, 3, 4 minus C plus or minus ID. What about here? Roots are, for this equation, roots are like this. For this equation, roots are minus A plus or minus IB minus C plus or minus ID. So what about these roots? By observing these roots, what about response? The response will be yes, response will be, you can say, damped oscillations. Right? System will behave with damped oscillations like this. Damped oscillations. Right? So here I am giving some important formulas, just note it down. By observing these roots, minus A plus or minus IB, we have a real number, imaginary number, right? So what about one cycle? You can say from here to here. So if this is, so I am erasing part like this here. If this is my response, So you can take for one oscillation, that one or this one. You can take, this is the, what is this? One oscillation, right? One oscillation. Yes. So this is original amplitude, original disturbance. Finally disturbance will become 0. At some point, somewhere, the disturbance will become half, right? The disturbance will become half. So the formula for that time taken, or time constant for that half of the disturbance, how much time it will take? That you can write as T half is 0.693 by, see here, already we discussed roots are minus a plus or minus ib. You can say mod a. Why mod a? What is, if you take minus a? Minus represent, these are damped oscillations. So that means with respect to time, disturbance will decrease. That means amplitude of the disturbance will decrease. If it is positive, what will happen? After some time t, this disturbance will double, right? So this disturbance will double. So if you take, if it is positive, so this is nothing but time taken to double the, how much time it is taking for doubling the disturbance. Formula is same. So just remember this, 0.693 mod a. And what about time period? Time period is nothing but t is equal to 2 pi by omega. This thing you know, right? Yes. Next one is, how many cycles it will take. For example, if you say, we are saying some time it is taking this much time to half the disturbance. So how many cycles it will take? Yes, how many cycles it will take to half the disturbance? So that you can write n half is equal to time half by time period. Very, very important formulas. Yes, very, very important formula. Just remember this. Very, very important for our longitudinal and directional, lateral directional modes. When you are solving those numericals, we will solve. Next week I am telling you, we will solve all these gate questions. Just remember, next week we are solving gate questions from 2007 to 2020 based on longitudinal modes. So if you see any question on pogoid mode and short period mode, longitudinal modes and lateral directional modes, we will solve those questions. Okay, already I saw your that previous gate questions, like hardly some 16 questions are there. We will solve everyone, like every question we will solve. 16, some hardly 15 to 16 questions are there. Yes, once again I will see. Just I will sort it out. We will solve all those questions. To solve those questions, this class is very, very important. Just once again, just go through this class. And already I remember, I strongly believe these things you know, because already you studied in control systems. Once again, revise those topics. Yes, revise those basic knowledge. Like basics are very, very important. Okay, we'll meet on next class and we'll solve previous gate questions. Thank you. Okay, just 1 minute. I will give one example also. If you want, you can solve this in your home. Otherwise, anyway, we will discuss previous gate questions, right? At that time, once again, we will discuss answers of this question. So, for example, I am giving characteristic equation is characteristic equation is lambda power 4 plus 5.05 lambda cube plus 13.16 lambda square plus 0.65 0.6735 lambda plus 0.593 is equal to 0. Right? So this is your characteristic equation, fourth order characteristic equation. So use this Routh's criteria and find the stability of the system. Just comment on the stability of the system. Is the system is stable or unstable, right? So anyway, just do that thing. Anyway, I will give you roots for this equation. Roots are like this: lambda 1 comma 2 is equal to minus 2.508 plus or minus I into 2.578. And what about this? Lambda 3 comma 4 is equal to minus 0.01715 plus or minus I into 0.2135. These are the roots. Okay. This is the characteristic equation. Just here find the time constant and number of oscillations required. Okay. Number of oscillations, or how many oscillations it will take to have the amplitude of the system. So that is my question. So from this characteristic equation find the stability. Comment on stability of the system. Yes? Is it clear, everyone? Just this is your assignment, not assignment, just simply solve, okay, for better understanding. Okay. Yes, any doubts? Yes, already you have my email ID. If you have any doubts, just you can contact me through email. Okay. Yes. Very, very important. Next week we are discussing previous gate questions based on longitudinal and lateral directional modes. Hardly it will take 3 hours. We will discuss these things with simple pendulum. Once again I will give some brief introduction with simple pendulum, what we are doing. Yes, I will demonstrate all these things with simple pendulum. Okay, I will write equations of motions for simple pendulum, and we will bring that. There are one more method is there actually. There are some gate questions based on that method also, but the problem is in your control systems the topic is not there. That is state space representation. So just in these 2 days, just go through this state space representation. Just Google it and learn something about state space representation. Okay. Anyway, once again we will discuss in next class. I will take hardly 3 hours. In the first hour, I will take introduction about this state space representation, and once again I will briefly discuss these things. And last 2 classes we will discuss all previous gate questions based on modes. Okay. Thank you.